Hi there, this is Bridget from the PlannerSpeechie. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be planning for the week of October 21st through the 27th. In my vertical planner, I am going to be using this kit that I love so much. This is Hocus Pocus from Scribble Prints Co. And I'm going to be using this art. This art has been around for a very, very long time. And it was the reason that I started wanting to buy stickers in the first place. So this was a very fun and special kit for me. So I'm really excited to be using it again. I had some issues filming the first video where I ever used this, and I skipped a lot of it. Somehow, I don't know what happened to my phone, but so I'm really excited to have a do-over with the ultimate kit. So this one is much bigger than the previous one I had. So we've got all these great full boxes here. If you've not seen the movie, it's a really great family watch, and it's a classic, cult classic for sure. So I remember actually when she came out with just a deco sheet of all of this because it was so good. I did not have these full boxes before when I had the mini kit, so those will be really fun to use as well. I feel like the kit, the emphasis was on this dark purple before, but these are really fun. I like this pattern the most. And then you've got the solids, and then this is new. So it used to be just this whole thing was one sheet. Now it's two 15mm, and you've got this great Thackeray Binks, and then you've got Max's tie-dyed shirt from the first part of the film. So to complement this, I did go ahead and so this tall box also came with it, and I'm definitely going to be using this one. I did get Doodles 1 and Doodle 2. I'm not sure which one is which, but they both go with this kit. And then I also got the Scribbler in whatever the brown-haired girl is to match. So I'm really, really excited to use these. Now, at the time, I was going to use a different kit during this week, so I didn't actually have foil to go with it. So I ended up picking up this gold foil from CPC. So it's just called Halloween. So here are the overlays. I like the little bats. I also got the header covers in gold, and then this is the matching washi in gold. So I'm going to be using those. And then I did have these. I pulled this in. This is wood grain in, okay, I think this is bronze. I'm fairly certain this is bronze. So this is just the wood grain underlays in bronze. Based on what I know of my experience of underlays, this design is kind of going to disappear, but I thought it would definitely match the colors of the kit, and it would be fun to do a mixed metal with the light gold as well. I'm going to be using these pumpkin date stickers from Sadie's Stickers. I got the Planahannah in unfoiled, and this was the font of the month for, I believe it was either August or September, but it has these cute little spider webs. I got a second one for the Halloween week kit as well. And then these are just some really fun, this is Once More with Love, Hocus Pocus 2, and Crafty Banana Black Flame collection. So some of these are not but there's the Black Flame candle right there, All Hallows Eve. So there's just a lot of fun stuff there. So plus, and I never get to showcase these babies. So I love these ghost cats so much. So I have 2 of them, thankfully. Whew. I also have these little Halloween houses. These are spooky laptops, pumpkins, spooky food, spooky cat, Spooktober. This was a really fun one to pick up. This is a different thing, so I probably won't use that. I love these. It's so precious. And then I regret very much that I didn't use this for my Beetlejuice spread. But anyway, so it's really fun. I have a lot of Halloween stuff, guys. I have like too much Halloween stuff. So anyway, I am going to speed things up and come back in voiceover. Hello everyone and happy Halloween. I intentionally posted this plan with me for Halloween because I thought I've got the art, I've got the interest. I think people want to see Halloween things around Halloween, so let's do it now. So I'm so glad that you're here watching. Thank you so much. I had so much fun putting this base down, but I gotta tell you, it was a little bit anxiety producing because I had a lot of things to work with. And I was trying to figure out, okay, how can I maximize my need to have space to fill out my actual planner, plus being able to use as much of the art as possible. You can hear maybe Scooty in the background mewing. I have the door closed right now for recording and he doesn't like it. uh, he looks exactly like Thackeray Binks in cat form. But anyway, so I did use this gold Halloween trim throughout. I went all out for this spread. There's a small part of me that wished I'd saved the gold stuff for my actual Halloween spread. But since I'm sharing this video with you on Halloween, it makes it all the more special. So thank you again. I decided to use these pumpkin date dots that I'd been using throughout the month of October, and it complemented everything so well. I just love these. I'm glad I had an extra set handy, and it's just such a nice, fun way to celebrate the holiday season. I love Halloween. I don't know how everyone else feels, but it was one of my favorite holidays growing up, and it still is to this day. I think there's something really magical and cool about it. I'm also Irish, and in Irish culture and in pagan cultures, Halloween is actually Samhain. It looks like it's spelled Samhain, but it's actually pronounced Samhain, and it is about the new year and where the two worlds between the living and the beyond, the veil is very thin, and so there's crossover. There's incredible history too, carving turnips instead of pumpkins, and just there's so much to learn about it. I love learning about the history of holidays. I think they're fascinating. The History Channel, just to nerd out for a second, has two really good documentaries. They're both called The Haunted History of Halloween. One is a more updated version, but I actually prefer the classic. I think it has a lot more interesting graphics and things like that. They went a little over the top with their drama on the most recent update, but I love that tall box of Danny in the corner. I'm so glad I got to use it. I think it's interesting how some people put the tall box right at the top or they just use it at the bottom. I'm more apt to use it at the bottom, but I should try it on the top sometime. And then I decided to use the two new to me full boxes right on the side just to maximize the space. So I didn't use any headers or anything like that. It's just three different continuous scenes there. And I'm going to add just a couple more touches of drama to that quote box in just a minute. So this spread was really fun. I like the date covers too. I like Max's tie-dyed style being splashed all over different aspects of this kit. I love when the artists really know the show that they're designing the art for because it makes it all the better. And I think it makes it a lot more fun too, to find the little Easter eggs hidden throughout all of these different spreads. It's cool how you could almost do those two candy boxes as like a scene. I did the house separately, and my only regret is that I laid this base down several weeks ago, so I didn't know that I probably would need extenders to get everything that I needed to put down for this week into the spread. And I regret that because I feel like I wouldn't have had to squish everything together. But I love the book. Book. So good. And then I did end up, there were just a couple of the full boxes. I think I ended up, nope, I used most of them. I think there was maybe one I didn't use. So the wood grain was really interesting. I like it a lot. I think I can tell that it's wood grain once you put it down on the spread. But then when you cover everything up, it's much, much harder to tell that it's wood grain. So it would have been cool, I think, in a gold to match the gold. But it felt weird to me to get the wood grain in any other color than bronze, just because then it wouldn't look like wood. Similarly with the birch underlays that I have, I think I did them in black because I wanted the stark contrast. So anyway, this was the crazy week before Halloween. I will get into the day-by-day blows for sure. We did go to a Halloween party this week, and we did a couple of like Halloweeny themed things. This was I believe this was my monster week in speech therapy. I have this great set from Speech Tree Co. and I got to use all these fun minis. So the monsters were more cute than scary, but still really, really fun. Oh, I loved laying down this deco across the top. There was just so much good stuff to work with. And I was trying to fit as much of it as I could over the top. And actually, I think this is one of the more successful decorations that I've done. I've noticed that I start from one end and I go all the way to the other end, but I think what I might do, I put Thackeray Binks in front of the girls. I thought that was cute. Is lay down the bigger pieces of deco first and kind of scatter them throughout the spread and then fill them in with the smaller pieces. I think it makes it a little easier. So I'm just using my tweezers to put all of the tiny little candy bits like in between different parts of the deco, just to give it a little more oomph. There were a lot of little gummy worms and tiny little things there. So I did add one piece of deco, which was the Danny's candy bag. Or no, she didn't have a candy bag. It was Max's candy bag. I just threw it on top of the stair there, sort of casually. And yeah, trimming the top is always a challenge for me. I feel like I cut pages of the planner every time I do this, but you know how it goes. Um, so there it is. And then I was trying to decide, okay, where do I put all of these overlays? I only had 4, and I had some of my quote boxes from last week's Plan With Me. I had some extra gold fall things left over, and so I did end up incorporating those into the spread as well because I felt bad only having the 4 overlays. So I added some extra to the full boxes, the scene, and then I added one to Thackeray, and then I added one to the Max and Allison up at the top. So every character got an overlay. And I think that turned out really, really well. I eventually go in and add some of the gold quotes. So on the bottom, I used a piece of that extra washi just at Danny's feet for that tall box. And then I cut up, I forget what I cut up there exactly. I think I had maybe an extra full box, and so I just used it to cut up tiny little pieces to add a little bit of accent. I had these really cute black tree branches, so I added them to the corner of the book overlay. And then I was like, do I add little gold accents throughout just to give it a little more shimmer? I ended up not doing that, but it was a cute idea at the time. So that quote that I put on the bottom of the book says, "Hello, pumpkin," in script. And then I put pumpkin spice and everything nice on top of the candy sort of hoard up there. And then the last quote I used was a fun one. It says, "Thick thighs, fall vibes." And that was a freebie from Caress Press. So I loved that. But, oh, and then I put Spice Girl on top of Danny. So there we go. Hi there. Okay, so we are going to try doing a live plan with me again. I want to see if I can do it a little bit smoother this time. So let's get into the day by day. And I have all of these amazing flags to work with, unlike the last time where I just had like the one sheet. I literally have 4 times that amount, even 5, because I have some extra left over from the last time I used this kit. And I'm not color blocking, so there we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so that means I can do 3 and 3. Let's start off with this. Okay. So on Monday, the first thing I did, and that is a little Once More with Love Hocus Pocus. This is a script from, that was too small. This is a script from PlannerSpeechie. I did some session prep. And then, sorry, and I have so many flags here, it's a little ridiculous. All right, so then on Monday, I'll just mark that I had, and we'll use a bigger one for that because we can even use something like that. All right, so I did do speech therapy. Duh. It's like the most obvious thing that I can do is speech therapy. And you know what? Let me grab my handy dandy tweezers. Okay. So on Monday I did speech therapy, and then this was also the week of the book fair, which was kind of fun. So let me use a kind of purple thicker dude for that. Put that in there. So cute. That's from Rabbit Hole Craft. I'm just going to go in and mark that it was the book fair. So I work at 2 different schools, and both schools had book fairs this week. So I just went ahead and marked that because they're both so cute. I will tell you that I was exhausted. Oh, wait a second. I just realized I forgot to mark something. Okay, that's fine. So on Monday I was pretty wiped. I'm not really sure why that happened, but it did. So I've done this lighter color. Let's go ahead and do, oh, that's kind of purpley. I already did purpley. Let's do one of these big ones here. So I did have this like kind of crazy thing where I was so tired that I got home and just crashed on the couch. Like really, really crashed. This is the Font of the Month sampler, and this is from the Doodle Pack. So then I also, let's just go ahead and mark that I did watch The Imitation Game, which is a great movie about World War II and Bletchley Park. And I was inspired to watch this because I'm currently reading a book by Ruta Sepetys called The Bletchley Riddle. So, and which is also about Bletchley Park and code breaking in World War II. Really fantastic. And then the other thing that I ended up doing was I stayed up super late to watch. I'm kind of doing all of this backwards. Let's do a square here. I stayed up really, really late to finish session notes because I should have done it during the weekend and I did not. I did not have my usual therapy this day, which is really good because I was so tired I would have slept through my therapy time. Okay. So then let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to do 4 here and 3 here. So let's do a fun purple little thing. So on Tuesday, it was technically Monday. I'm not 100% sure because again, I was so tired. So Pink Diamond Planner Co. is a shop that I really like, and she is closing her doors forever, which means that all of her stuff is currently on sale, 50% off. So I did go in and I got a bunch of things. She later then added mystery overstock, which she said she would combine orders for free to reduce shipping costs, but I decided not to go back and get more stuff because I felt like I had enough. And I'm really sad because I feel like she's an incredible, I really liked her stuff and I just felt like it was just unfortunate that she wasn't going to be doing that anymore. So on Tuesday, I did do speech therapy and just use a little, that font, that is from Planahannah. That is a foiled custom. So I had this really interesting, and actually I should have used a smaller one for that, but that's okay. I'm going to do this now. Okay. In fact, let me do it like this. So this actually took longer than this little script surmises, but I had to do a speech language eval and I used a protocol that required a CD player, and I didn't have one, and I was waiting for someone at the school to kind of help me out, but unfortunately everybody was too busy. So I ended up bringing in my own DVD player from my own personal computer and playing it through that. So that's why I used the headphones for that, because even though the child wasn't using headphones, I was using sound to do that work. And then this was just a crazy day. I had a lot of work that I had to do. So I will just use a little thing here. These are kind of stuck together. There we go. I did not spend a little amount of time doing this, but I used that as a scribbler from the scribbler set, and then that is the font of the month. So I did update IEPs and I did some session notes. But I didn't get to finish all of them. So then I had, and I can't remember, I honestly can't remember when I filmed this video, but I am going to put it here as if I did it here. So I'm actually really excited because I have decided to switch formats for planning, and I'm going to be using an Aura Estelle planner. starting, I believe, January. So I'm trying to choose my inserts now. I'm not sure if I want to do SPC edit inserts or Caress Press. I don't think I'm going to use Sadie stickers because even though I love her stuff, like I really, really love it, I wasn't crazy about the new inserts that she just came out with, just for my personal planning purposes. I think her products are incredible and I fully endorse her stuff, but so actually this is the color of the Aura Estelle that I got. It's called Sunday Morning. And I did film a video because it did come in the mail on Monday and I picked it up, but I was so tired I just couldn't film it. I really couldn't do it. I did also have therapy. So I'm just gonna make this a little, actually, I think I can do it. I did have therapy and I totally forgot that I had therapy. So these are my scribbler doodles. Let me just see if there's one that's kind of like appropriate. I'll just use the doctor one, even though my therapist is not a doctor. To mark that I did have, I call it theraps. And then unfortunately I did have, I was up late doing session notes. Again, I just had a lot of work to do. This was a work late night time. This whole week was basically like that. And I'm not a fan of it because you can only do that for so many days in a row before you start to burn out. And it was only Tuesday. So that was not great. That's Sadie stickers, that's a candle, and then that's the Hannah scripts that I had made. All right, let's move on to Wednesday. So Wednesday is a long one. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, not so bad. All right, so on Wednesday, I did, and this may, again, the timelines for this are all completely off. I'm not 100% sure what I did. I did buy Halloween costumes this week because we were going to a Halloween costume party. And I think I may have actually ordered them on Tuesday, but I'm just putting them here because why not? And I decided to go as a copycat this year for this Halloween party. So I thought that would be fun. But you know how it goes. So I'm going to use this to do the next thing. So the next thing I did was an IEP initial. I'm going to use a little backpack from the thing instead of my IEP stickers because I feel like it says IEP in the script, so it's a little redundant. And then this was the day, oh my gosh, this was the day of mass hearing screenings, and I'm going to use a big old thing for that because holy cow, like this was an intense experience. Over the course of the day, another SLP and I, and 2 audiologists did hearing testing for 135 students. So this took the whole day, basically. And I lost at chicken for that one, but that's okay. So this was insane. Getting getting kindergartners to condition to a hearing test is really challenging, and anyone who thinks they can do it, no questions asked, is fooling themselves, like hard, straight up fooling themselves, because that is a difficult thing to do. So just saying. All right, so then the next thing I did was I had one speech therapy session, and it was actually very successful, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go. Our theme this week, I didn't say the theme yet. Our theme, and that's sideways. Our theme this week was monsters. So I have these cute little minis from Speech Tree Co., and I really loved working with those. And so I was like, you know what? Let's go do something fun with that. Okay. So then after that, oh, do I want to use that? Yeah, it's just going to be really tight. Okay. I'm going to call this appointment, even though it wasn't really an appointment. So basically our audiometer, which is the machine we use to measure the hearing testing, the audiometer that our school, one of the schools was given, was broken. Like, doesn't work. You have to press so hard that the creaking sound of the audiometer is louder than the decibel that you're trying to match. So I showed it to the audiologist, and she was like, yeah, no, this is definitely broken. I have an extra one, but we have to give it to another school for them to do their mass hearing screenings. But they should be done by Monday. So you should be able to pick it up on Monday. But would you mind dropping it off? Now, here's the thing. She probably should have dropped it off because I had nothing to do. Like, she was always going to give it to them. But for some reason, she was like, oh, can you do it? Now, I was like, oh, I live so close. This won't be a big deal. Here's the thing. This school, which is close as the crow flies to where I was, is across two main roads, both of which get crazy crowded, and they're doing all this construction across one of the main roads. I made not one, but two wrong turns to get into this school, and I was so peeved. I also did this backwards. I'm now realizing I did, whatever. I did go to Publix first because, and you'll see in a second when I put that final thing down. So I did go to Publix and get cereal because we were doing special themed book club for that evening. So I also made a call to my coworker at another school. There's a lot of things that I did that I just didn't have room to put in. Okay, so let's use the big old, let's use like one of these. This would be cute for the book club. So book club was serial killer because our friend and neighbor has never had cereal. She's from India, and India is in where she lives, excuse me. Let me start over. Blech. Our friend, who is originally from India, has not had cereal because where she is from, you don't eat cereal for breakfast. And more likely than not, you're actually eating something savory, she told us. So the concept of something sweet in milk, she said, just sounds kind of gross to her, but she was curious, and so we each brought a cereal. And then our discussion was about books written about serial killers. So it was a serial killer party. It was very, very fun. And it got pretty dark, like our conversation. But it was really fun. And I was there probably until about 9:30 at night. Okay, so that's the first part of the week. All right, let's keep going here. Okay, so moving on. Let's see. The last thing I did was that shade. So let's do one of these. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things to do. So we'll see how much I can fit in here. What is this all about? What is this all about? Okay, why did I put that in? For Thursday. Oh. So I am on this medication that is supposed to help me, but it has side effects. And one of the side effects for me has been these monster headaches that I go to sleep with and I wake up with. And there is nothing worse than going to sleep and waking up with pain. I think it's very challenging and it's hard to explain to somebody who doesn't experience it on a day-to-day basis. But I was like, okay, this is a challenge. Oops, and you know what? I'm going to use this one because it's already off the thing. So that was crazy. So on Saturday, whoa, on Thursday, geez, I am tired today, you guys. Okay, I did do some session prep because now I had new students that I had to see. Oh no. Okay, I did do session prep and then I had to do a speech evaluation. Let's see, we'll use one of these. These are just a little bit thicker than the other ones. And I'm just marking, oops, way to do it backwards. This is the fun part about having these really crazy nails is sometimes you can use them to get stuff to lift up. We may just have to. Yes. Okay. Now see, that one took some of the foil off, but it doesn't matter. All right. Okay. That looks a little messy, but that's fine. All right. So I did have to do speech evals for the preschool. I did not necessarily, why am I putting this on sideways? My goodness. I did not necessarily do this with young boys who looked like this. I just did preschool speech evals because I have so many of them. And then I had to do speech therapy. So I'm going to put that in there. I have this very cute, this is from the Scribbler. I have the Play-Doh ones, but I have not seen the Play-Doh plus the Lego. I don't know which Scribbler or which doodle that is. So if anyone knows, you could help me out. So I did do some speech therapy on that day. And then this deserves a big old fat guy here because this was intense. Okay, so this IEP was rescheduled twice, and last time the parent actually came on the wrong day. And in order, so, and we needed an interpreter, so I told, and the parent was having some technological issues, so I said, okay, why don't we make this an in-person meeting? I will reserve a conference room. And I was told, okay, you have to get a projector because the conference room we have doesn't have anything to post the documents on that we have to review. So I went ahead, I did all of this work, I secured the conference room, I got the principal's blessing, I got all the equipment set up first thing in the morning. Like I did all of this before I did any of this. That was kind of what the session prep was. I get there and there's a teacher testing 2 students. And I said, I'm so sorry, I have this room reserved. And she goes, well, I'm sorry, you can't have the room because I was told we had to use it. So I had to go to the principal who was right next door, explain what was going on. I said, I'm really sorry. Is there another room we can use? I will wheel the projector out. She goes, no. That's your room. You reserved it. and kicking them out. So she did. She actually kicked the other teacher out, who was being really kind of rude. So anyway, then the meeting went over. Everything was fine. The interpreter showed up. The parent showed up. Everything worked. And then afterwards, different staff members were like, I don't know if we should have had this meeting yet. We might need more data. I was like so done with the drama of this particular meeting that I was like, okay. I was like just listening and placating everybody. And then I got back to the speech room and I was like, oh my gosh, like I am so tired. I can't handle this. I mean, I did handle it, but it was just one of those days. It was just one of those days, So, okay, so I did that and that. Let's do this. All right, so I always call my mom on my way home from work because that's when I have time to talk to her. And I hadn't talked to her, or I did talk to her the day before. Or I tried to call her, but she didn't pick up the phone. And then she told me that she had a fall. So the previous week, my father fell. This week, she fell. It was an accident. She was with her friend. She just tripped. It was in the house, but she hit the back of her head on one of the living room chairs. And so thank God her friend was with her because she really like bruised, I think, when you fall really hard and it's kind of startling, you bruise other parts of you that you use to like prop yourself up. So she called my dad. My dad came home from work to be with her. I'm so glad her friend was there because if her friend was not there, that would have been very scary, I think, for my mom. So I talked to my mom and she was reassuring me. She's like, I'm fine. She didn't go to the doctor, which kind of drives me crazy, but I love her. And so anyway, so that now I'm like worried about my mom and she, it just stinks to fall. Like it's very startling, right? It happens and then you just feel yucky. And anyway, so I did make ravioli for dinner because I worked so hard this day that I did not have lunch. And I was always going to make ravioli, but I feel like I triple earned it. So, and then just going to put that right on the bottom there. I did stay up late doing more work. And I actually cut this work out of, it was like work out, and I just cut it. I had to update IEPs that were happening the next day. Okay, so that was all one day. All right, I finished the entire sheet's worth of icons. Now let's get into this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this is going to be crazy. So I need a bunch of little things here. So let's use one of these because it looks like I haven't used one. We're going to go almost to the tippity top there. I did have coffee. I did not go out and get coffee, but I made like a fancier version of coffee for myself on Friday morning because I was like, I deserve it. And then I did also take out the trash because it was trash day. Thank God it wasn't recycling and trash day because if it had been, I would have been so tired. So I'm just, giving myself credit for actually getting that done. And then, so first thing this morning, I did another speech eval. I decided to use a Winifred Sanderson for this because I felt like I was a baller doing this eval. This was a difficult eval. This was one of my students who standardized assessments are not going to give us the information we need to make decisions. And I say us, meaning the IEP team, but it's mostly me for his language skills. So I was really grateful that my approach actually yielded good information, and I was really, really happy about that. So that was really good. Okay, that was probably too big of an icon to use, but she's an icon, so, anyway. Okay, so let's do this. So, and I might have to cover her feetsies a little bit. Sorry, Winifred. Okay, so I'm going to use these sneakers that came with the bundle to mark that I did speech therapy, because this was one of those speech therapy days where I was picking up kids from all over the school. Sometimes I have to go in and out of the school to get this stuff to work, and it was bananas. BANANAS. Okay, so now I'm going to mark this. Okay, and again, this is probably too big to use. I'm just going to put some of it over the header, and that's the way it goes. So this was an IEP meeting. I actually had 2 IEP meetings on this day, and I didn't even mark it because the first one got canceled, but then I had to do so much work to figure out how to reschedule the canceled meeting that we might as well have had the meeting. But this meeting was interesting because the team member who was running this meeting, the sound stopped working on her computer, so she ended up having to come to my room and do the meeting through my computer, and it all worked out. It was fine, but I just felt bad that it was hard for her. It was more work for her. Okay, so I am going to use this little thing here. So this was Friday night. I am using the little scribbler to mark that I took a shower because I had not showered all week. That's my level of self-care was basically 0 this week, and I want to give myself credit for actually showering and looking nice. So then I'm going to, this purple, yeah. I'm going to use this little purple one. Just to mark, and I use the script from the shop, or from the bundle. It says date night. I just got ready for the costume party after the shower, and that was very self-care, therapeutic. I really enjoyed getting ready for that. And okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you this girl because she's super cute, and I'm about to chop her into little pieces. But she's from Rabbit, what's it called? Oh, goodness. Rabbit Hole Handcraft. And this was sort of my costume. I wore black ears, a little eye mask. I put on cat nails, and I had a black dress. And I did have sparkly tights and kitten heels because I thought that was super cute. There is no way that this is going to fit, so I'm going to have to chop her up. I'm so sorry, little girl. I wish these stickers were a little smaller. I think they're just really, really big, and that is kind of a thing. All right, so now we're going to do this, and we're going to put her over here. And we might even cover up a little of the date night. Sorry, so sorry. And the script I have just says Halloween party. That is actually from Sadie's Stickers. It's like a fall bucket list, and I ended up just cutting the parts that I wanted to cut. Okay, so we went to a Halloween party in our neighborhood. Our friends threw it, and I was having a little bit of anxiety about going to this party all week because I'd had a really rough week. I was really, really tired. But last week when we went to a party and I was exhausted, it was actually really, really fun. So I thought, let's do it. And my husband and I ended up both being so tired and so out of it that we only stayed for about an hour. We were there for about an hour, almost 2 hours. But we did end up leaving early. And people were asking me, like, what happened? Are you okay? What's going on? And I was like, no, no, no. Like, it's really fine. Like, we're just going home. So then we went home and we proceeded to have, my husband and I don't fight very often, but when we do, it's not great. So I'm just putting here this script because this is kind of what happened for both of us. And I was just like, yeah. So that happened. So then fast forward to Saturday morning. So let's see. I also have a lot of scripts to do on this one too. I should have done extenders because I feel like I needed the space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's another one like this. Okay. All right, I might actually be able to get that in there. I go right up to the top. So this little sticker is from Carly Plans. I think it's called Spooky Cat. And this is from the sampler. It's apt. I did not sleep well because of this. Just saying. Okay. Zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, that's much better. Okay. Eventually, guys. Eventually, we made up. And it was like a very long conversation. And it took a while. I'm using the relax script just to mark that we had a conversation and it went fine. We also had avocado toast. Thankfully, I had all the ingredients for that because it was kind of crazy. Okay. Next up was and I'm not going to have any white space for these. I've been watching a lot of YouTube content lately. So if you have any, if you have your own channel that you would like me to watch, if it is planning related or SLP related, I would love to know. Put your name in the comments and I will follow you. Like, seriously. Because I really enjoy, I should have used a fancier thing for that, but whatever. I really enjoy YouTube content now. And I feel like it's something that I really want to get into more and more these days, you know? So I am using a scribbler from the kit and a script to mark that I did do some planning. I did film a plan with me. Sorry that my camera keeps moving. All right, so we made up, but my husband was really, really tired and he did not really want to do things, engage in things. So I decided that I was going to go and do something fun. There is a little farm stand right near our house. It's a 4-minute drive down the road, and I've never been there. And they do sell pumpkins. Normally at this time of year, we would be doing all the fall things. We would be going to get apple cider, and we would go apple picking, and we would go to the pumpkin patch, and we would do this and that. But because we had family visiting and we had all these party obligations that we'd said yes to, it just didn't happen. So I'm saying visit a pumpkin patch, but it was actually more of a very small farm stand. And I'll tell you something, I didn't even buy a pumpkin from there. I ended up buying eggs, fresh bread, and apple cider from there, but I ended up going to Publix immediately after this because that is what people do when they need stuff that they need. So, all right, I am going to put that right there. And I actually had another thing that I wanted to put there. Like, I'm running out of all the room. I should have had extenders. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to add stuff because if I did, it wouldn't work. Okay. So I am going to mark that. So I went to Publix. We did get takeout. So I was going to use this scribbler here. And I'm going to just mark TV time because the movie we watched was Practical Magic and I had never seen it. My husband had never seen it. So this is from Crafty Banana. This says Witch's Brew. But then the big thing that we did, and I think I'm going to have to cut this down. Let me just cut it down. I like this trick. This is a neat little trick to get the size that you want. Like that. So we did watch concert for Carolina. This was a benefit concert with James Taylor, Sheryl Crow, the Avett Brothers, or Avett Brothers. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. Then there were two big country singers, Luke Combs and Eric Church. Then there were also some names that I hadn't heard of. Parmalee Wesco, who sang this really beautiful song that he called Helene. That's all about what happened in Avery County after Hurricane Helene. That was an amazing song. And Billy Strings, who does like bluegrass. So it was an amazing concert. It was very heartfelt. And yeah, it was a live stream, so I don't think it's available anywhere to watch at the moment. I'm kind of hoping that they come out with some kind of recording that people can pay to watch. All of the money was donated, and then we found out that Dolly Parton donated $1 million. $1 million. So go Dolly. I mean, she's the best. So anyway, that was Dolly Parton being the best, because she is the best. All right. I wanted to use more of these squares because I think they're fun, but I just never have the right amount of space for them. All right, so I am gonna mark that we slept in today. We were up until about maybe 1 in the morning. Actually, I'm gonna cut this in half and do rats. Okay. I'm gonna put that one on first, and then it got stuck to the other side, underside of my scissors. Okay. So sleep in. I did sleep in. It was glorious. I needed it so badly. And then I'm going to use this round one, which is way off center. Holy cow. Will say I never wear my nails this long because I think it's actually more of a hindrance. However, when you're planning, it's very convenient if you want to shift stuff around. So this is a little scribbler from the scribbler set that matches this kit, and it is my friend's birthday. So that script is in Pixie Hollow, and it is from PlannerSpeechie. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I have 6 more. I don't know about that. 1, 2. All right. We did have, you're gonna see a lot of scribblers now. We had cinnamon buns in Danish and eggs. I did have eggs too, but it was so good. Did I do that wrong? No. See, this throws me off because it's actually supposed to be, it's the decorative version of this color, but it's so different that I'm like, okay. So I just feel like I did it wrong, but I didn't. All right. So we're gonna put, I keep covering the scribblers up. And of course, this is the biggest scribbler ever. It's just gonna go over that. I watched Inside Out 2. This is our group costume. So we're all going as a different emotion. I was assigned ennui. Very fitting, actually. And so then the rest of this are going to be my goals for the day. This looks so sideways. It's not. It's just the way I laid this sticker down makes it look really sideways. Okay. So I have to do 1, 2, 3. I have to do 4 more things. So I can use like normal stuff now. So let's do this. And I'm trying to switch them over. So my goal today, I want to finish reading the Bletchley Riddle because I only have 35 minutes left in it. So I think I'm going to finish it. It's also like a book that people want to check out. So I want to make sure that I am letting people do that. Okay. And then after that, I don't know what's straight or not anymore. I am going to do some laundry. Oop. And then after that, I need to do let's cut that down. Like that. And I need to do some work, some schoolwork, because there was a lot of stuff that because of all the meetings and the running around and the other things like that didn't get done. So I need to do that today. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'll use this pretty pretty purpley one. It's going to cover some of that, but that's okay. I'm going to eat, it says fast food. I'm actually going to put that back where it was because what we're eating is actually the takeout from Publix that I got for dinner last night. So that's going to be our meal. Okay. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I have so many leftover stickers. It's bananas. See, I like these ultimate kits because they have the tiny stickers in them. However, I end up with way more than I need, and then I feel so wasteful. So I'm just going to show you what I have left, and then you can decide like what I should do with all of this, because it's too much. It's too much. And actually, really quickly, I'm just going to put the things that I didn't use back so that I can use it again, because I don't want to be wasteful. I don't. It's silly. Okay. Okay. So here's all of my leftover stickers. Let me zoom out for a second. So I have these flags, or boxes, whatever everybody wants to call them. And this is actually, like, I had 2 of these. I have 2 full boxes, like, just so much. Like, this is a lot. And then these were the doodles that I got. So I got both doodle sets, and I feel like I used a lot of these, but there were a lot left, you know? So, and then this was the remainder of that. So let's go ahead and look at the whole spread now. So you can see the whole thing in all her glory. Okay, whoa. Let's go and give this its own moment. Okay, so this is the full spread for this week. I think she looks great. I'm gonna do the wiggle here. I like the mixed gold. I like the gold with the purples. I know a lot of people, when they see these colors, they think silver. I think the gold actually makes all these yellows and orange bits pop a little bit more. So I'm glad that I went with that. Yeah, this was a busy week. So I had a lot going on. In hindsight, I should have used extenders. This is the one thing I don't like about planning so far ahead, is that I don't know if I'm going to need the extenders or not. And it's actually making me question if I should put down bases ahead of time. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. And please stay tuned for the next Plan With Me. And I want to say happy Halloween to everyone. All right, take care. Bye.